So in today's video, we're going to be discussing the residential solar tax credit. Now, as a lot of you probably already know, with the passage of the big, beautiful bill a few months ago, that actually killed the residential solar tax credit for people like you and me as of December 31st, 2025. And what a shocker, they kept actually that tax subsidy in place for the corporations for an additional few more years. I guess they have deeper pockets when it comes to lobbying Congress than we do. So if you want to rent your solar system from one of these big corporations, which I am not a fan of, they will pass at least some of that tax credit onto you in the form of a lower installation cost. But you'll still never own that system outright yourself, which I am not a fan of. But I guess they just want us to own nothing and be happy. But that's a whole nother video that I won't get into today, so let's move on. So here's what you need to know. As long as you purchase and commission your system before the end of this year, 2025, then you can get 30% off, or at least a 30% tax credit on your tax return. Now again, you have to purchase and commission that system, whatever that means. So the cost that can be included in that solar tax credit is all of the equipment you use, labor if you're paying someone else to do that installation, all of the installation costs, so conduit, wire, fittings, electrical panels, anything that goes along with that installation, you can put on your tax return and get 30% off of that in the form of a tax credit. Now keep in mind that that is a federal tax credit, not a refund. So as an example, let's say you spent $30,000 on your system. So you would get 30% off of that if you bought it before December 31st, 2025. That would be a tax credit in the amount of about $9,000. So most of us do not pay $9,000 in federal income tax in 1 year. Now, with this tax credit, you can't take into account your Social Security tax, your Medicare tax, or any other state tax. It's only that federal income tax that you get the credit on. So most people need to take as much of that federal tax credit in the first year, and then whatever's left over. Let's say out of that $9,000 tax credit, you only had $4,000 that you paid in federal income tax for the year. So basically you'd get that whole $4,000 back on your tax return, but then the other $5,000 would roll over to the following year. Now there wasn't much guidance on that a few months ago, but from what I'm seeing online now is you can roll that tax credit over indefinitely for as long as it takes. Now I am not a CPA, so verify that with your tax advisor, but that is what I'm seeing right now. So how do you file for that solar tax credit? Well, I'll just tell you what I did because I did file for that about, 3 or 4 years ago now. So I use TurboTax, so I do my taxes personally. And it was as simple as there's a question that it walks you through that says, did you make any solar improvements on your personal home or the home that you live in? Because it has to be the home that you live in. It can't be like a second home to get this tax credit. And you just click, yes, you did install a solar system. And then it just asks you, okay, how much did you spend on that entire system? You just enter that figure in, and that's it. You don't have to enter receipts. I mean, there's literally no other questions. I mean, I was shocked at how easy it actually was. But because it was so easy, the odds of people filing for this tax credit fraudulently are quite high, which means if you do put this solar tax credit on your tax return, your odds of being audited are going to go up dramatically. So make sure your tax return is buttoned up in all other areas. That is my opinion. So make sure you keep good records, all of your receipts, and maintain those for like 7 years in case you ever do get audited. But that is how simple it is to file for that tax credit. Now, it looks like you have to commission the system before December 31st, 2025. So I guess the question is, what is the definition of commissioning? So what I'm seeing online, people saying is that as long as you just take the inverter, the solar inverter out of the box, connect a battery to it and power it on, that is enough for commissioning. Now there's not going to be any IRS agent walking over to your house on January 1st to make sure it has actually been commissioned. So how are they going to enforce that? I don't know. So I would recommend, obviously if you're buying right now or you're trying to buy before the end of the year, which I highly recommend you do it during the Black Friday sales that the solar equipment companies are going to have here. And if you want to know about the best deals that you can find on the equipment, especially the equipment I like, you could jump on my email list actually by downloading my wiring schematic for the system I really like, which is the FlexBoss 21 from EG4 and their wall mount battery. So go to flexboss21.com and just enter your email address and name, and you'll automatically be on my email list, and I will let you all know when those sales hit and what you can get and any discount codes that they're also offering me to give to you. So again, that's flexboss21.com. And again, it's free to be on my list. It's free to get that wiring schematic with all the equipment I use for the installation. So check that out. But once you do get that equipment delivered to you, you're going to want to at least take it out of the box, connect the battery to the inverter so it turns it on. So I don't know, film a video of it, something where you can prove that you commissioned the system to be able to take advantage of that tax credit. Now, again, I am not a CPA, so if you do work with a CPA, make sure you check with them on the information I just said. But that's it for now. Hopefully this cleared up a little bit about the solar tax credit, how you can take advantage of it, how easy it is, but the risks associated with that in a tax audit. So that's it for now, everyone. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel, and we will see you all in the next video.